Before I start discussing what I'm about to discuss, I'd like to let you guys know that these are my opinions and other people's opinions. I know they are opinions that a lot of you do agree with or will agree with, but for the fair few who don't agree with it, I'm just letting you know. So you see, Roblox are technically allowed to do whatever they want. It is their game, not ours. But it is also our game in a way, because you see, without us, Roblox wouldn't be where it is today and it just wouldn't be running, to put it simply. So you'd think in a way, while Roblox can literally do whatever they want to their game, it also wouldn't be the smartest idea, because in order to keep the players happy and to keep the players actually playing, they need to give us what we want. And by what we want, I don't mean we want 1 million Robux, so they should give it to us. I mean, if they bring us an update and the majority dislike it, then maybe that update shouldn't stay. And no, I'm not talking about Anthro, just any update in general. Because being 100% honest, there's never going to be anything in the world where 100% of people like it. You can never ever please everyone with anything you do, but with that being said, that just means that Roblox needs to please the majority of players. So what brought me to make this video was a message I received a few days ago on Discord about bacon hairs being removed, which obviously made me think, like, what could this update possibly be bringing to Roblox? Or even, what was the point in removing those poor bacon hairs? I suppose it doesn't make a huge difference whether your character looks like this or like this when you sign up, but I also don't see the point in choosing to change that when there's many more useful things on the site that could be updated. The same goes for removing guests. In this developer forum post here, you can see it says, "We think this is a great change for our developers as we found that removing this mode of play increases the number of users playing with registered accounts." But if I'm being honest, I see this as a bad thing. The ability to play as a guest let people who have never played before test Roblox to see if they like it before making an account. But now that guests are gone, you have to make an account before you know if you even like it or not. So if the person makes an account to test Roblox and ends up not liking it, they'll abandon the account and probably never play again. So it seems like removing guests would just increase the amount of inactive accounts. Now, I've spoken about this one before. I even made a whole video dedicated to it. Ticks, also known as tickets. Now, my video is The Truth About Ticks, in which I explain the biggest reason I believe ticks was removed. Basically, there was this glitch, which was very easy to do, where you could profit Robux by doing virtually nothing but trading ticks. And while that reason does make sense because ultimately it would have been causing Roblox to lose money, I also believe that the problem could have been solved a completely different way. Like, the glitch was done via this thing called the Trade Currency tab. They could have just removed that tab instead of removing ticks as a whole. The removing of ticks wasn't necessarily a pointless update, but it was an update that could have been prevented. You know, we could all argue that Roblox often give us some very unnecessary updates, and that topic is actually very debatable. So I took this to Twitter, at ChloeGames if you'd like to follow me. Basically, I said, in your opinion, what's the most pointless Roblox update? 13 out of 45 replies say experimental mode, to which Skeletal replied, "People saying removing experimental mode are idiots." So this update is great for debate because, as you can see, many people dislike it, but also some people defend it. Basically, if you don't know what experimental mode is, in the words of Roblox Wikia, it was an optional setting for user-made games on the site that did not use filtering rules to keep scripts server-sided instead of client-sided, which in turn made them vulnerable to harmful exploits. That part isn't the part that people don't like, but rather in July this year, Roblox put out an incredibly confusing update where if a game had experimental mode enabled, nobody could play except the owner and the owner's friends. This resulted in many older games becoming unplayable, like quite literally you couldn't join the game. So of course many people were annoyed and confused. Experimental mode was subjected to criticism by both players and developers during the time it was still active. A few said the removal of parties, which I honestly didn't know about, so I did a little bit of research and it turns out you actually can no longer create parties with friends. Parties had been a feature on Roblox for as long as I can remember, so this is very confusing to me. They'd been around for so long, obviously not causing a problem, and all of a sudden they decide to remove parties and replace it with a button in-game that says invite friends to play, which I believe is a big downgrade. The whole point of being able to create a party was that when in a party and joining a game, it would look for a server that had enough space for everyone in the party. But inviting friends to join your game after you've joined a game doesn't make sense. The game will probably already be full. Casodus says adding filtering when searching for stuff, which is 100% one of the most annoying things on the website. Even when I search my own name, it gets hashtagged, and my name is clearly not inappropriate at all. And Cow says that new homepage update is the most annoying thing ever. And I haven't got this update yet. I always get Roblox updates like weeks after they come out. So I had to do a little bit of searching around and I finally found somebody with it. He said your recent games don't even show up first. It just shows random games you've played before and games your friends are playing. And Toxic added that it also throws in some games that you've never played before. So yes, this update seems very annoying and once again, pointless. I'm annoyed by the update and I don't even have it yet. I guess it's good in a way to maybe promote different games that not many people play on Roblox, but like, we kinda already had that under the games tab. And finally, many people said all or most updates from Roblox are pointless. There were so many more updates that people sent me, but you know, I think we've discussed enough for you guys to get my point. Let me know what you guys think of all these updates and which one you think is the most pointless. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.